they found Yo Gotti's driver. They knew that Yo Gotti was the one that got dropped off at the Young Dolph scene because he had to pay the money for the hit. He came through with at least 50,000 to 100,000 cash because they didn't want to send the money for the hit through no type of transaction that it could be tracked or any type of receipts like that. And so that's why when the Yo Gotti and the Bentley driver pulled up on airways and everything right by the cookie shop, they dropped off the load of money that Big Jook was supposed to give to the hitmen, to the shooters, or anybody that had any role to play. Basically, they were coming to break him off before Yo Gotti went and actually tried to fly out to Atlanta and everything like that so that they could get an alibi. But they all got caught, man. The driver was seen on the footage driving through, and this is the main reason why they started paying attention to the Bentley truck. They released a picture showing that it was Moneybagyo's old car that he gave to his girlfriend, that CMG basically gave to him. And so this is why they caught that picture in front of the Makitas where Young Dolph was last seen at and everything, and they were driving by, and it was because a lot of people say, allegedly, the rumor has it that they was dropping off the money just down the block before right when the hit was going on, because they knew that he was inside that shop and none of the other artists was answering. For some reason, Young Dolph phone couldn't get nobody to answer him at that time. And so this is why they started watching the cookie shop and trying to find the connection between who is it that Yo Gotti could have dropped the bread off of to for the hit and everything, and then left. And it might have had, and like they saying his brother was with him, and he was supposed to be the one that actually goes around giving the money. This is what people know about Yo Gotti's brother, Big Jook. He was the enforcer, he was the street guy, so he was the one that would handle any kind of thing like that, like taking the money and going giving it to Straight Drop or any of the suspects that they already caught up. And so now this is where they started looking into Yo Gotti, his connections, who he knows at the cookie shop, who he knows that was around there at that time, and how is it that everybody was all basically talking to each other when they were planning this. There was videos released of them all at Yo Gotti's restaurant, his mom's restaurants, where everybody met up, and it was a lot of the guys that ended up getting arrested for being suspects of the Young Dolph were in that same meeting room with Yo Gotti at his mama's restaurant, and they was writing something on the chalkboard. It looked like it was some sort of meeting between some of the CMG dudes and some of the street dudes in Memphis. It was a whole lot of people there, and basically everybody that was there, they was hating on Dolph in some type of way, or they were connected to Yo Gotti, which they had the beef with Young Dolph. And this is the main reason why they even got jealous and envious and everything. Like basically it all came down to the fact that Yo Gotti, he couldn't be at the level Dolph was, and once he found out that the baby mama drama was going on between them two, and they started beefing and dissing each other on the songs, this is what made Yo Gotti boil over to the point where he was like, okay, you know what, he's gonna try to take Dolph out and everything like that, and they got caught for it. And this is why this investigation, 2 to 3 years now that has been going on, and they're trying to get the justice for Dolph. Now they have a lot of the guys. They just took down the driver of Yo Gotti, who's now gonna cooperate with the feds and basically throw him into the loop, throw him under the bus. Yo Gotti thought that he was going to be able to pay everybody off the hush money and that nobody was going to cooperate, no one was going to try to snitch or nothing like that. But these guys, the suspects, they got football numbers because they were trying to set an example out of them. And when they seen how much time they were getting, they pointed fingers right at Yo Gotti. They gave up the text messages. They found the text message between Yo Gotti and Big Jook. When Big Jook got hit up, that's Yo Gotti's brother. So they looked through the phone, they looked through the text messages, and they went back to the day that Dolph got hit up. And they were communicating back and forth, talking about they were gonna go pull up to the cookie shop and everything, and that he had the money ready and everything ready to go. It was a lot of talk between Yo Gotti and his brother on the text messages the day that Dolph passed and everything, where they were trying to like link up and go to that same exact area. They was trying to get in that Bentley truck, drive to the airport. Everything that happened, Big Jook and Yo Gotti was talking about it. And so this is what the feds have. They have now a key piece of information where Yo Gotti is telling Big Jook orders in the streets to do these certain things and all that. And now they might find a connection between the Bentley driver, the money, and the suspects that was connected to the Young Dolph hit, and it all leads back to Yo Gotti. All avenues and lanes, paths lead back to Yo Gotti and CMG. Now they're looking into everybody. This is why Govan Hernandez was released, because he's gonna tell on Yo Gotti. Everything that Yo Gotti did, the karma's gonna come back for him, man. They should have left Young Dolph alone a long time ago. If y'all rocking with Young Dolph, I want y'all to put the Dolph emoji in the comment section and let me know where y'all from and who you rocking with, man. Because now it's do or die time. Basically, they're making it to where they actually giving the ultimatum to Yo Gotti. He's gonna have to turn himself in at some point. Like, all of these dudes that did something, they all coming down. They already got a lot of these rappers for a lot of things, man, and the Ricos are happening right now. You see what was going on with Young Thug and everybody. They're doing the same thing to Yo Gotti. They're gonna look at Yo Gotti's disses on Young Dolph, the songs, and they're gonna use that against him, and basically the lyrics that he was using, because he's connected to basically being a part of the Dolph setup and everything like that. And they're saying that Yo Gotti was the mastermind, because he's the guy that tells Govan Hernandez what to do. They thought Govan was the person who was set the whole thing up before, but he gave up the information that said once they took out Govan's daughter, he gave up Yo Gotti, and he said that no, the only reason I was over here and over there doing this and that was because Yo Gotti did this and that, and he paid Govan. And so this is when they started talking to Big Jook, and the feds was really building a case against Yo Gotti. Then all of a sudden, Big Jook, Yo Gotti's brother, ends up getting hit up, and the information that they have is limited now that they got from him. And so this is going to make it to where it prolongs Yo Gotti's freedom, to where, like, if Big Jook would have went and met with them one more time, to the investigators and the detectives, Yo Gotti would have been getting raided basically. And so to prevent that from happening, all of a sudden, randomly, Yo Gotti's brother, Big Jook, ends up getting hit up, conveniently enough for Yo Gotti to be able to have just a little bit longer on the run, basically, so that he can hide out with Angela Simmons and the whole 9 yards, right? Because they end up getting caught red-handed for the Young Dolph. It's all there. They got the footage of Young Dolph. They seen how everything went down. They got the conversations between Yo Gotti and the dudes who's supposed to carry out the whole hit. They know that there's a connection between the money that was paid and the 40,000, 50,000 that was out on Grove Hero's head, and the 100,000 that was out on Young Dolph's head. And so this was all basically caught in all of the things. When they raided and swept Memphis, a lot of the dudes that got picked up knew certain types of information. They knew it was a bounty on Young Dolph head, and this is what they told the feds. That's why they were able to capture so many people real quick, 5 suspects right after, like, within a month of the Young Dolph thing. And it basically broke the whole thing open, because if we found out it was so many people involved in this thing, they're all gonna end up telling on Yo Gotti and getting the justice for Young Dolph.